Hey there guys, I'm Time Lord Fishwick here, and welcome back to my 12th Doctor Marathon. Um, my last review wasn't great, I did not like it at all, but I'm guessing that you guys have probably seen my overall review on Series 9. If you haven't seen it already, go and check it out. And I watched it. It was actually the day before now. I'm going to be reviewing The Husbands of River Song, which I should have reviewed it yesterday. Actually, I didn't get around to it, but I'm here now. So this was an interesting one. Now, this one is a Christmas episode, but I don't know how people see this episode, because I think some people are not a big fan of it, but I personally don't mind it as much. But there are some bits where I'm just like, oh, for God's sake. But I would definitely tell you this: it is much more better than Hell Bent. That is one thing for sure. But I remembered when we heard about Alex Kingston coming back for River, I was like, oh no, because I'm not a massive fan of River. It's not that I don't, it's not that I hate her. It's just that she, I, I just blame Stephen Moffat for like what he does to her. Like, I like her in series 4 and 5. I think she was great, but in series 6 and 7, she just turned it into this flirtatious woman, and oh no, it just ruined her character for me. But I would say I do like her in Big Finish. I really enjoyed her in Doom Coalition with the Eighth Doctor. I think she was great in that. And I've also noticed that she's married quite a lot of men. I've just recently finished The Lives of Captain Jack Volume 3 on Big Finish, and I must warn you now, I'm going to give a spoiler away. If you haven't heard it yet, if you're a Big Finish fan, go and listen to it and come back here. So yeah, so she marries Captain Jack. That's all I'm going to say. Um, yep, that happens. Now, this one, as I said, this one didn't mind me as it didn't mind me as much. So it starts off with Nardo. I'm gonna come on to him more later on in the series 10 marathon. But I remember people not liking Nardo that much. But that's all I'm gonna say about him. I think the 12th Doctor. I, I, I do feel like in this episode he did feel like my 12th Doctor again, but also I felt like he was still the Series 9 one, but not as much. Um, and I think the only thing that puts me down in this episode, I just couldn't take the villain very seriously. What's it called? The Hydroflax, if I've said that right. Which was played by Greg Davis, and I can't take Greg Davis seriously because he's a comedian, and I find him funny in the In-Betweeners, and I just can't take him seriously because I just see Mr. Gilbert. So yeah, it's just yeah, and I just found it a bit silly that River. Well, she says she married him, but she married the Diamond. And I just thought, why? I never really understood that. And I also found it silly that when she was paired up with the 12th Doctor, the Doctor was just giving away, oh, you know who it is, it's me. And she's just looking at the Doctor like absolute oblivious. Okay, I get it for like the first few minutes, but come on, River's a clever character. She needs to understand that is the Doctor. It's a bloody husband, for God's sake. I don't know why, but I did like it when she figured out more later on in the episode. I didn't really. This is the one thing that I don't. Well, now that I've heard the lives of Captain Jack, I understand it. I'm gonna go into a bit more with her in Big Finish here, because she gets shown because she tells you that she's met every Doctor, which I can accept, because she was with. I don't think she's been with every Doctor, because I've not heard her much in Big Finish, but I've only heard her with the 8th Doctor. I would like to get more of her though, because I know she's met the 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th and 8th Doctor. But what I don't get, she's met the War Doctor. Now, in the Lives of Captain Jack Volume 3, sorry I'm giving spoilers away here, but as I said, just go and listen to that now. But anyway, she in the end of the Lives of Captain Jack, River tells him that he's fighting a war now, but she doesn't seem to know his. I don't think she should know about the War Doctor. Yeah, it's just because obviously the War Doctor is like one that most people have probably not seen of, and obviously the Doctor didn't want to call himself, didn't want that incarnation, didn't want anyone to know about that incarnation, especially who else he's close to, especially River, since it's his wife. Then we get on to her. They end up in. I didn't really like the Sonic Trow. I just thought, as the Doctor says, Sonic Trow. Do you see how ridiculous that sounds? I agree with the Doctor there. And then I like later on when we're on that ship, and when River's making a deal with that guy with the strange, where you can like move his head out and in, and I just thought, ooh, and she was making a deal with him about the diamond, and then there was bits where I just thought it was just a bit pantomime when the Doctor just went up, just talking to everyone, and especially near to the beginning where the Doctor comes in and they're after a surgeon, and when River just goes, like, this is my husband, and see, the greatest surgeon in the world. Like, what are you doing? I like how when that guy had River's diary and he was just explaining, like, telling where River was, like where in the timeline she is, but I don't know exactly if Stephen Moffat was counting Big Finish as canon. In this one, because it sounded like he was only just mentioning the stuff he did with the 11th Doctor. But I don't know. Maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. And then I loved the speech River gives when she's, it's like, oh, I love him, but he won't love me back, and I just love like I just love that speech she does. You know, the Doctor is like when you love a man like the Doctor, it's like loving the stars themselves. I'm just like, wow, that is how you describe the Doctor. Um, but um, I liked I liked it later on when the ship was crashing, and I liked when we got. I did like the soundtrack in this. I think Murray Gold was just absolutely brilliant in this when we were hearing when the Doctor was talking about when we saw the Singing Towers, which I really liked, and like when he went to see that builder guy, you know, gave him the diamond, and then making a restaurant and then sorting it all out, which I thought was really nice, um, and then Nardo was under the hydroflax, which I just thought was a bit silly. But as I said, I'm gonna get more onto Nardo later on. Um, and then I just liked how, you know, the Doctor planned um, when they were planning dinner with River. And I liked how when the Doctor given River his Sonic, well, another Sonic, so you can tell where River was, and having that moment together, and the Doctor, as River said, she says you were crying, but you didn't tell me why, and I just like because we just knew where we were there because we never knew throughout the 11th Doctor's era. I don't know if it was like this for you, but for you guys, but it was for me. I got confused where River was, and I'm really glad that we knew where we were and where she was going afterwards when she sees the 10th Doctor in the library. Yeah. But I didn't really like. Well, it's not something that I wanted to see. Well, we didn't really see it though, but it looked like they were going to when they were going to kiss. Now, I just don't think the 12th Doctor is the sort of man who should be flirting. Okay, I understand it's his wife. That's fair enough, but I don't know. I'm kind of glad we didn't exactly see it on the screen. So, but yeah, that's my review on The Husbands of River Song. I reviewed as much as I can. It was okay. It's not great, but it was okay. I thought it was a nice ending for River. That's all I can say about it. So I'll give it just being a bit generous, but also being a bit being a bit harsh as well. I'll give it a 5 out of 5, a 5/5 out of 10. So you know, when I give stuff a 5, it's just okay. If I give it if I give it a 4 or a 3, then I don't like it. But it's on the standards of okay. Yeah. So guys, tell me what you thought of The Husbands of River Song. I'd love to know. But if you enjoyed this video, give me a like and subscribe to me. I would really appreciate it, and I'll reply to many comments as I can. And I will be going to be watching the return of Dr. Mysterio. Now this should be an interesting one. Okay then guys, I shall see you next time. Bye for now.